You've done everything right. You signed the paper, you ran the play, you delivered, and now the alarm is ringing, but it's ringing for you. Your phone's blowing up, but the person who made the call, their world is quiet. What happened to responsibility? Why does it feel like they kept the power and handed you the mess? Meanwhile, the person who said go, their world is quiet. Their name is safely tucked into a paragraph that says leadership, far away from any actual mess. You might wonder, if power comes with responsibility, why does it always feel like they kept the power and mailed you the responsibility? Here's the secret. It's not an accident. It's not just bad people being bad. It's by design. You haven't been wronged by a person. You've been processed by a system, a very old, very smart system that's working exactly as intended. Your situation is defined by one of these simple facts. Maybe you followed the orders to the letter. You did everything as instructed, but now that very clarity has turned into your crime. You didn't get it. But how could you? They gave you the instructions, but did they ever really explain the game? Maybe you executed a plan that seemed perfect. Everyone signed off on it. But when it all collapsed, suddenly you're the one labeled failure. What happened to the plan? Was it a mistake from the start, or was the plan always a game of chance? And if you don't figure out why this happened, it's only a matter of time before it happens again. Or maybe you hit your target perfectly, only to find out your target was in the wrong place. Your reward? Being called short-sighted. You weren't the decider, but you're close enough to the explosion to get covered in the ash. In the system's ledger, you are the nearest, most convenient line item where the cost can be written off. Here's the first rule of systems that want to last forever. Power goes up, problems go down, decision-making gathers at the top in a small, protected room. But the risk, the blame, the fallout, that gets shipped downstairs. Think of a high-stakes decision not as a single order, but as a cloud. It's not a do this, it's an atmosphere, a vibe, a we need to be more aggressive speech from the CEO, a let's push the envelope memo. Remember Wall Street before the 2008 crash? No CEO ever sent an email saying, please destroy the global economy. They just created a culture where the only way to be a star was to take insane risks. The traders on the floor, they were just breathing the air they were given. But when the ceiling caved in, who sat in front of Congress? The traders? No. The architects of the atmosphere gave calm speeches about rogue actors and unforeseen systemic events. The decision had been cloudified. It became the weather, and you can't sue the weatherman when it rains. Here's your first clue. Have you ever received an instruction so beautifully vague it felt like freedom? Here's the truth. It's not freedom. It's a trap. It's the perfect escape plan for the person who gave it, and they never told you there was an exit until it was too late. Now, when something big fails, the system needs a story. A complex story about budgets, timelines, and market shifts is bad for business. It makes everyone look incompetent. The system needs a simple story. It needs a villain. Watch any major tech product flop. After millions are wasted, the story never is. Our entire strategy was wrong. The story is the product lead failed, or the engineering manager chose wrong. A single replaceable name is offered up. The committee that funded it for 3 years, they become the wise elders who made the tough call to pull the plug. The real tangled roots of the failure are trimmed away. All that's left is one branch, strong enough to hang the blame on. Here's your second clue. The system will always try to turn what went wrong into who messed up. The what is a problem. The who is a solution. Finally, there's the performance. Often, holding someone accountable isn't about fixing anything. It's about putting on a show. It's a ritual to calm the nerves of investors, the public, or the rest of the team. Think of a major train crash or a hospital scandal in Europe. The public is furious. The press is screaming for heads. Does the Minister of Transport resign? Almost never. Instead, a regional operations manager is suspended. A station master is fired. They become the sacrificial offering. The system, by sacrificing a part, claims it has healed itself. The message is clear. The problem has been found, a person. It has been removed, fired. Therefore, the system is clean. The deeper sickness, old tracks, chronic underfunding, gets another free pass. Here's your third clue. The louder and more dramatic the punishment of an individual, the more likely it is the system itself is avoiding surgery. Let's be clear, you are not a scapegoat. That's too emotional. You are a shock absorber. Your job, your position, your expertise. They make you a perfect component to screw into the chassis and let you take the bumps so the precious engine above doesn't have to. When the spotlight hits you, your instinct will be to yell, "But they told me to." Don't. That's what the script expects. The system is now in containment mode, and you are the event to be contained. First, fight the story. Don't let them make it entirely about you. In your mind and in your words, if you can, shift it. Don't talk about your intent. Talk about the conditions. Given the timeline we had under the budget constraints based on the data available at the time, you're not making excuses. You're restoring context, which is the first thing the system tries to delete. Second, speak in traces, not thoughts. Forget explaining why you did something. Talk about what you did step by step and what document or person authorized each step. Be a boring, reliable narrator of your own actions. Don't defend your brain, defend your paper trail. Third, manage your label. You might have to take a hit. Your goal is to make sure the hit doesn't come with a permanent tattoo that says failure. Negotiate the narrative. Let it be a project that failed under complex circumstances rather than John's folly. It's the difference between a battle scar and a brand. You're not trying to win the war. You're trying to survive the battle with your utility intact. In this moment, 3 comforting fairy tales will poison you. The fairy tale of the truth, believing that somehow the full honest story will magically emerge and save you. It won't. The system needs a usable story, not a true one. The fairy tale of the good king, believing that someone higher up will see the injustice and ride to your rescue. Their job is to protect the castle, not the soldier on the wall. The fairy tale of the lesson, believing your suffering will change anything. The system will use you as proof that individuals fail, so the system doesn't have to change. So what happens now? You have a few narrow paths. Path 1, eat the blame. Nod, accept it, keep your head down, and try to hold on to your job. But ask yourself this, what happens when they start handing you blame again? The first time is never the last. If you don't act now, you might be stuck in a loop, carrying the weight for others forever. The cost? You're now permanently in the liable category. Your career here is a dead end. You'll be the first call for the next impossible, doomed project. Path 2. Push back, just a little. Use your evidence to negotiate the blame from catastrophic failure down to shared responsibility. The cost? You'll be marked as difficult or not a team player. You'll be sidelined, given a quiet office and nothing important to break ever again. Path 3. See this for what it is, a sign. Your value in this system is now primarily as a shock absorber. Start looking quietly for a place where you can be an engine instead. The cost? Starting over is hard, but it's the only way to reset a story that's now permanently written against you here. The system's grammar is simple. The ones at the top are the subject. They pull the strings. You're the object. The verb happens to you. But here's the real question. What happens when you stop being the object? What if you could rewrite the sentence? You are often the object. The verb happens to you. And when the sentence goes bad, the object is easier to replace than the subject. This whole game requires a specific landing zone for all that falling blame. A place not too high, not too low. A place that can be sacrificed to please those above and calm those below. And that brings us to the system's most perfectly designed component, the ultimate shock absorber, the natural home for all sacrificed pieces. In our next chapter, we'll look at the beating heart of this machine, L3-10, why middle management is the natural sacrifice zone. They are the layer the system is built to compress.